We all recognize that there are multiple opportunities related to doing HOAs, and as a group we're looking to put our talents together to make these HOAs valuable to the general public. And over the last few months I've been honing or developing anyways, my technical skills. But I look at HOAs as being more than just a technical side. And so that's what I wanted to present as a possible contribution that I can make to this team effort. So I can now put together an HOA, I can conduct an HOA. I've even helped some people out working as the wing woman on their HOAs. I've also been a participant, not a participant as a guest, but as an observer in an HOA, and I think that's where my talents have been recognized. I want to thank Jason T. Weiser for giving me this idea for a title, commentary specialist, because during an HOA I'm on Twitter and I'm commenting about what's going on the HOA. As a strategist, I believe that the before, during, and after need to all play nicely together. And I have a method for turning ideas into action, and I call it frame, focus, and follow through. On the frame part, that's the part that takes place before the HOA actually airs. Get a briefing on what the key messages are that the host is targeting. I also want to know who's going to be participating in the conversation, the guests on the HOA. So knowing that, I then can go to the G+ profiles of those guests and get to know them a little bit better. Often I find out that they're on Twitter, they're on LinkedIn, they're on Facebook, and I make note of that. So then we come to the focus part, and that's the live action part of the HOA. Focus, meaning I'm listening intently and I'm also watching. I use Twitter. Twitter is my channel of choice because I'm fluent in Twitter and I can quickly and easily keep up with the conversation because I'm making short little messages of 140 characters. I'm using @mentions to make sure that the guests and hosts and even some of the more prolific commenters are being tagged in the tweet messages that I put out, and the hashtags that have been predetermined by the HOA host. I use those hashtags and again create some visibility for the event. I do this to amplify the message, as I said earlier, but also it creates a digital stream that is searchable later. So after the fact even, people can go and do a search, find the URL to the YouTube, because I'm usually putting that in the tweet as well, and find out what that particular event was about. So it's searchable, it just gives a larger digital footprint, which is really important these days. With so many strategies, follow through gets neglected, but I believe it's one of the most important parts of a strategy. In follow-through, as an example, some of the things that I would do is I would go through all the comment streams, the YouTube comments, the comments on the event, look at all the tweets. I look for the quotes, I look for the questions, I look for the good ideas, I look for some of the jokes. I make sure that the guests and the hosts in particular are alerted to very specific comments that might prompt a one-on-one conversation, a response, a reply, an answer, some additional engagement with their audience, as it not only recognizes the participants, but it rewards them because they're getting the one-on-one attention, and that helps to build loyalty in the audience. It helps to build the strategy or the audience base by building this loyalty. Additionally, while I'm going through all of these, I'm creating timestamps. Those timestamps are given to the host, who can then put them into the description section of their YouTube. They're clickable. It's like a table of contents or an index or whatever you want to call it, but it makes that YouTube much more usable, shareable, and I think that it will create more engagement with the intended audience. If the host is going to be employing the Scott treatment, for example, those timestamps are really important for a conversation with Scott Scowcroft and the host can identify specific timestamps, for example, that they would like to see highlighted. So that's it in a nutshell. It's a strategic approach to HOAs. It's the frame, the focus, and the follow-through. Each piece can be done separate and in isolation, but it works best when it's done all at once. It totally depends on what the HOA host or even a guest wants to invest in to make their HOA everything that it can be. I'm looking forward to seeing all the other ideas from the people on this team. I think we've got a great opportunity to maybe remove some of the fear, take out part of the learning curve, and help the general public get the most out of HOAs. Thanks.